In this video, I want to show you an application of a relatively new feature in Excel, which has to do about visualizing your data in cells rather than in a chart. Namely, they are called Sparklines. So let's go ahead and explore the data set in the starting file. What we have here is various stock tickers like Google, Microsoft, Netflix, Apple, AEP, General Electric, and so forth. And we have all the values for the adjusted closing price for this ticker on a given day. So basically over the last so many months or so, maybe 18. So anyway, what we want to do is we first want to sort this data. I'm noticing that the data is actually sorted in the wrong fashion. What we can actually do is, instead of sorting by columns like we normally do, we can actually sort across rows. Let me show you what that looks like. We can highlight this portion of the data and go to Data, Sort. And a lot of people, I think, overlook this, but we can go to Options, and instead of sorting top to bottom, we can actually sort left to right. So let's hit OK. And I'm going to sort by row 2 of my data set. And I want this to be in oldest to newest fashion. So let's hit OK. And now we're seeing 2012 all the way over to 2013. So when we develop this Sparkline, it's actually how we commonly read left to right. So let's go ahead and explore the Sparkline, and for that matter the column. Let's go into the Insert button. If you pass the Charts portion, you'll see this little Sparkline feature. I want to create a line, and the easiest way to create this Sparkline is to highlight where you want the Sparkline. In this case, I want it in T3 to T8. And we can go to Line. The data range that I want to plot in this cell is going to be this entire range from, let's say, B3 to S8. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. And we see a pretty cool little graphic giving us some indication of what these stocks are doing in terms of their closing price in the order that we actually want them. So it looks like, you know, we can instantly tell Google has gone up in the last, I think this is 18 months. Let me go ahead and check. It in fact is 18 months. You know, Microsoft has gone up. Netflix has taken a hit but is steadily rising. Apple has basically gone in more recent times. AEP is going up and General Electric is going up. So it's a pretty cool technique. We can also do the same thing with columns. Maybe we don't necessarily want the lines. We can go ahead and select the position where we want the columns. Go back to Insert, select a column, and it's the same window here. It's just changing the graph type. So let's go ahead and select that data and hit OK. Now there's several things that we can do inside these options. So I'm not sure which one is more visually appealing. I tend to like the Sparkline versus the column better. But we could change the color. Perhaps we want to make this light gray. We can do the same thing here. We can change the color. We have various colors to choose from. I'm going to make it consistent and go ahead and do the light gray. We can change the marker colors, and there's several properties there that we could actually select. So for example, we can show, I'm going to highlight both of these and do it simultaneously. We can go to the marker color, and you might want to show high points, the highest point in this chart, by maybe a green. And you can see here the little green dot is presented on the cell, and it's presented in the column as well. We could also show low points as perhaps red, and we instantly know where those points are. So it's a pretty nice effect. Now the other thing we can do is we can actually play with the axes, so the vertical and horizontal. Depending on the situation, it might be a good idea to change these options. So for example, right now they're all sharing, well, they're all automatically given a vertical maximum and minimum. So what you might want to do is actually say that they should all have the same minimum and same maximum, so it's more normalized. Of course, you may not want to do that. Right now, it's basically showing you a percentage of the movement, and some of these stocks are, let's say, Google at $859, and some are down around the $20 mark. So, depending on how you want to visualize this, you could in fact change the axis to plot them on the same. So you can plot them on the same with the same minimum and the same maximum. And now it kind of shows a different story where perhaps the Microsoft stock is flat, Google is still rising, but it's only because we're making these categories plot on the same axis. So we're plotting something ranging from 580 to 859 on the same axis that we're trying to display a relatively scale from 26 to 34 or so. So depending on what you want to do, you might want to play with that. I just wanted to show you that feature. We can actually change this back to an automatic scale, which might be more descriptive for you.